How you doing, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sweet Millionaire Formula. Oh, we're going to get into some things today, guys, because there's just so much going on. And I think that people will lose the context of the fact that, yeah, just because I am who I am doesn't make you have, okay, how can I say? The access that you had to me before is not the same access that you have to me today, okay? Listen, I work too hard, and I feel like millions of us work so hard to get up, take care of our families, and the fact that people want to use you or um, make it convenient, make it only convenient for their plus to be around you, I think you have to stop that immediately. You need to raise your standards, raise your boundaries, okay? We are not allowing people to use us at their convenience at all. Okay, because you know what I just realized is that the only time that people want to support you is when they know that they've done wrong. The only time that people want to come back and double the block and spin the block is when they know that you've missed out on something. One of the most important things is to be who you are and have a, how can I say this, gentle. It's not even that you're gentle. Be good on the inside. Whatever you have on the inside of you is what people are going to remember. However, people, not what you said to people they're going to remember. How you made people feel is what they're going to remember. And I believe that too many times people don't think that you would. The same people that you met going up are the same people that you met coming down. And I think that you need to. For me, it's personal, baby. Okay, it's personal. The things that I'm accomplishing, the barriers that I'm breaking for women and children and families and generations, this happened because I had to suffer. I had to suffer a lot. I lost my little brother to gun violence. I didn't raising him alone and then having to leave him to go to Howard University was actually the most tough thing that I ever had experienced in my life. And the fact that I couldn't be big sister anymore to him, and the fact that he fell victim to the system, going to jail at 13, in jail for 3 years, 14, 15, 16, getting out of jail at 18 years old. 2 months after he's out of jail, we rekindle, and then he gets killed. Do you know how deep that situation ran into my heart? It caused me to have to leave where I was from, pack up and leave with everything I had in me that day, get my baby from school, drive 7, 8 hours, come to this state and be homeless for 2.5 months. Okay, that's why when people say that, oh, you acting like you don't have access to me anymore. I've suffered a lot to be here. So when I am moving and shaking in the world, when I asked you for help, you turned your head the other way. Now that I'm up, you think that I have to respect you and have to turn my head to reach back out to see what you're offering. But when I needed the help, you wasn't there. When I leveled up, you wasn't there. So all of the work that you put in to level up and to be the person that you are now, do not let people do not let people deduce you down to where they see you as. If you know that you're great, you know that you're a millionaire, be a millionaire every single day. Be a millionaire in your intentions, the way you serve people, the way you show up, how you prepare things, how you speak to people, how you walk, how you dress, how you eat. It needs to be of status. It needs to be of excellence, because if you're excellent, everything that you do is excellent, okay? Everything that you do is excellent, and it definitely is a compliment. It's a compliment to me, the fact that this company has started at zero, and the people that I asked for help, they act like they didn't even know what I was talking about. And now that Sweet Millionaire Formula is a company that is providing these resources to these different people, and we're a company of status, and we're a company that is actually helping the community and getting the funding that we need. I feel like now people want to be like, oh, you know what, can I help you, I know what's going on. But listen, that is another story, okay, for another day. And I think that having boundaries is a safe space for you. Having boundaries for what you built is personal. It has nothing to do with you shading people. It has nothing to do with you salting people. It has nothing to do, but those people are no longer serving you, so move on. And I think that that's the problem. And I was just talking about God, talking to God about that. Is that, Father, you not only did you elevate me, but you separated me so that I have no choice but to go forward. And everything that I needed along the way, the emotional support, the mental support, he supplied all my needs according to his riches and glory, because now he has me serving people in the capacity for which he has already planned in his plan. I think that people want to be so muddled in with everybody. You want to run with the pack. You want to be a part of this group. You want to be acknowledged here. But when you have to separate from the muddle and become separate in an individual and alone in isolation, isolation doesn't mean alone. Singleness doesn't mean alone. But when God is preparing greater for you, you are going to separate from the muddle, the noise. I feel like a lot of times I used, or the fact that I was a part of different things and everybody's club and participating in this and that, I ran with the crowd, so I never knew what it felt like to be alone. So when the moment that I had to experience, like the death of my brother, was an isolating, detrimental impact to my heart. So the fact that I had to leave my state that day, pack up my daughter that day, drive 7 hours straight that day, it turned me into a beast, because I had already experienced losses. I had already experienced death before. I had already experienced the struggle. I had already experienced poverty at a high level. I had already experienced what it felt like to be at gunpoint. I had already experienced what it felt like to be robbed. So to be able to be at the, what I thought was the high, my book had just dropped. So that I'm trying to paint the picture of like what it looks like to be in isolation. My book had just dropped, sold almost 500 copies. Then I had a book release, sold another 500 copies. So from my situation, I was still producing on a high level. After my brother was murdered, the fact that I had to leave everything and pack up everything that I was building and and drive into isolation, homelessness with my child. Nobody can take the elevation of building this company. This company is born out of a pain, out of a scar that I had experienced and that I had watched death, sickness, poverty sweep through my entire family, my entire lineage, all four lineages, their cousins, their children, my cousins, their children, my nieces, my little cousins, their cousins, all of that. I have watched decades of families be raised in the projects, 4 generations. And I am not a person to see. When you see death sweeping through your family, people settling for what is that called? Like God, like you see people eating steak and lobster and you just settling for noodles and hot dogs. When you know that God can provide, you've seen God provide for you. You've seen him take you from the projects to Howard University. You've seen him take you from losing your scholarship to becoming a #1 best-selling author. You've seen him work in different ways in your life to continue to put you back on your feet. No matter how many mistakes that you made, God will continue to put you back on your feet because he has a plan for you. He has a plan to prosper you. No matter how bad it looks, no matter how bad it looks, that is not the time for you to throw in the towel. The worst that it looks is the best opportunity for you to cling on and believe God for something greater. And I feel like this is the season for your greater. You may have been struggling with your depression, your anxiety, your dreams, your goals. You may have been struggling with the fact that you're not where you want to be, the fact that you gained all this weight, the fact that you don't have any goals or haven't had any goals for the last 10 years. Dust that shit off, because now it is time for you to kick into second gear and get your plans made. Claim what it is that you want for your future. Lose the weight. Change your hair. Move to another state. Whatever it is that you believe that God has for you, start to believe it on a capacity where you're making the changes. After you pray, go ahead and make the changes in your life that are going to complement the prayers that you ask for God. And then what I need you to do is just believe him. Make moves and believe him. After you get done praying, make moves. Start to go look at houses. Yeah, your credit score is not where you want it to be, but go look at that house. You know what, put in your goals. I will own property. I will become a real estate investor. I will generate $20,000 in my business. I will create a website. Whatever it is that's going to take you from minimum to maximum in your faith, you need to make sure that that's the life that you're living. A life that's full of passion, a life that's full of ambition, intentionality, that makes you want to wake up and serve whatever it is. And if you have to start by Xing out all the things that didn't work, go ahead and bump your head a few times. But you would rather know what doesn't work for you than to sit around for 20, 40, 50 years and never discover what that thing is that was inside of you that God had planned for you. Because I feel like that's what separated me, is because I've always had a hunger, drive, motivation, dedication, discipline, resilience. Nothing has stopped me or separated me from where God has taken me. And the fact that I was able to build this company because I was hurt, because I was healing. I wrote a book right after my brother died and got killed. I wrote a book right after, like 2 or 3 months after being homeless. I finally found my apartment. I ended up writing a book to cure the curse that was placed on my generations, and to know that the impact of that book would last for generations. People's lives would be changed. So not only was I trying to heal myself, but I also was pouring my heart into giving the resources, the motivation, the help, and the inspiration that changed me and that healed me while I was going through one of the worst times in my life. I end up turning that into a gold mine, a generational plus. And I believe that the moment you start to shift your mindset from looking at, oh, why me, to looking at, okay, yes, that happened to me, but what have I become since then? You cannot let your emotions trap you into staying complacent, because the impact of what your future, the impact of the next 5 years is going to come from how you handle that emotion. How did you handle that trauma? How did you handle those thoughts that were saying you couldn't do it? Did you let God, did you speak the scripture? Did you speak, yes, yea, though they slay me, yet will I trust him? Did you seek, he shall supply all my needs according to his riches and glory? Or did you let your mind say, I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. How many more tomorrows? You're not promised tomorrow. You can get hit by a bus. Would you have rather gone on out and done what you dreamed of doing and taking the loss, whether you failed or not failed? I know it was some lessons that you learned while you failed. Failure is the greatest. Failure is the greatest form of resilience. That's where you build your most resilient. But if you never even try, how would you know what you're capable of? And that's why today's episode, I just wanted to make sure that you stand on who you are. And if you are nobody, create who you want to be. Create who you believe that you are. As a man thinketh, so is he. So leave your comments today, guys, about how has it been becoming wealthy and creating those boundaries for people who are not as ambitious as you, and what it feels like to overcome those limitations that other people are trying to place on you. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in today.